the NFL on EA Sports. And we've got some history in this battle of AFL alumni. It's the Bengals and the Silver and Black on Thursday night primetime.
Well, there's never a shortage of shows or sights and sounds throughout this city, but for the next few hours, all eyes are glued to Allegiant Stadium here in Las Vegas.
With Charles Davis, as always, I'm Brandon Gaudin. And Charles, you talk about storylines in this one. I think it begins and ends with our two quarterbacks, certainly two of the best in the business.
And nowadays, I don't think you can get by for long periods of time without a top-flight quarterback. The way the game is played, with all the responsibility he has and how the game flows through him, if he's not on the top of his game, your team's not going to benefit at all.
And we are underway at Allegiant Stadium. And it's a pretty good return here as he'll get this up to the 29. Here are the Bengals on offense, and here is Joe Burrow ready to lead them at quarterback.
Hey, we all love a good story, and what we like even more, guys who can fight through adversity. Joe Burrow coming out of high school, goes to Ohio State, doesn't get a chance to start, transfers to LSU, not thought to be a top prospect, ends up the #1 pick in the draft, and justifies it. Tremendous play, excellent mobility, and leadership off the charts.
And right away, they're going to stack him up right at the line of scrimmage. Call it no gain on the game's first play, and it's second down now. They keep it on the ground. Again, it's Brown. And he works his way forward for a couple up past the 30.
And the big fella stuffed that one up in a big way. I think doubling him has to be a priority because you can't move up to the next level if you don't take care of him first.
In motion, the tight end. Burrow looking to pass. That's caught by his big tight end, Mike Gesicki.
And he is going to have a Bengals first down as they're able to get the third down conversion.
And that's well executed there on third down, and I love the confidence that they had to let their tight end try and find some space in the middle of the field, right in their quarterback's line of vision. And QBs love to make that easy throw, and they hooked up there for a first down.
Now it's Burrow. They're looking for Higgins, but it is intercepted. And the Raiders are going to have great field position here as this is returned just shy of midfield.
A good starting spot for the Raiders as they come up 1st and 10, just shy of midfield at the 49. First carry now for Alexander Madison.
And a pretty athletic run right there as he's going to get this down inside the 40.
Nice way to start the drive, a gain of 12 and a first down.
That's pretty much meat and potatoes right there, wasn't it? Just go right at them and let your big horse charge up the middle. Not too fancy there, was it?
Nothing fancy at all, challenging that defense, and on that go-around, the offense won the challenge. And they'll get him down after a pickup of 8, 2nd and 2. That was a lightning-fast decision that time. He just caught it and got rid of it.
Because he saw his guy was going to be open immediately. So he took the R, the run, out of the play. He took the O, the option, out of the play, and immediately got to the pass.
And he'll be a couple yards shy of the red zone here at the 22-yard line. 9 yards to pick up there, and it's a first down.
Nice job there finding room to maneuver, and he worked his way into another first down. And look, they had great field position to start, but boy, they've done a nice job taking advantage of it.
Now they're just hoping to cap it off. Minshew sets to throw.
Pass complete right side to Bowers.
And he is out of bounds, looks like right at the 15. They'll wind up getting 7 on the play, and it's second down. Really been an ideal start for them. They get the turnover on the opening possession. Now here they are moving the ball straight down the field on their first drive.
And that feels good, but you know on their side of the field, all they're thinking is finish this drive off because they took it away, right? So now you got...
And he'll take it into the end zone for a Raider touchdown. Alexander Madison, a 15-yard touchdown run.
And the Raiders use the early turnover to get on the board first here in this one.
And on his way to the end zone, shedding the tackle, he would not be denied.
That's what's called finishing the run. Making sure you power your way through. One-on-one tackle. No running back wants to go to the bench and say, I got stopped just short.
Now for the extra point, Daniel Carlson.
And that makes it 7-zip Vegas.
So that drive spanned 5 plays. And it was capped off by a touchdown scamper from Alexander Madison. Set now to kick this one away, and off it goes.
And a good effort on the return there. Gets him across the 30, up to the 33.
Cincinnati coming back onto the field here for their second drive. They threw an interception the first time they had the football, wound up leading to a touchdown the other way. How do you approach drive number 2?
Going back to your game plan coming in, everyone has matchups that they like better than others, where they think they have an advantage. Dial up some of those plays. Try and go to those spots and get your offense moving.
So the completion good for 6 yards, and that will bring up second down. They're passing here, Joe Burrow.
They'll look to Gesicki on the out route. Ball is caught.
A 6-yard pass on back-to-back plays. Picks up the first.
And the tight end is certainly a position built to move the chains because they can control space underneath. If they've got good hands, then, of course, they're a dynamic target. But one other thing is they're right in the sight lines of a quarterback on just about every play, and that makes it easier for the quarterback to pick him out and deliver.
Give him back-to-back catches now. That one for 16 and another first down.
And what a nice example there of a tight end doing exactly what he needs to do. How about how he worked his way to the outside, made sure he secured the catch, and then anything after that, we count that as a bonus. And indeed, he gets enough for the first down.
So here's a 1st and 10 now in Raider territory, right at the 40. From the shotgun, Joe Burrow.
Throw left side complete to Chase.
And he's going to get a solid gain of 9 before being brought down. 2nd and right at a yard. We've seen quite a bit of the short passing game here early on first quarter, haven't we?
We have, and I think it works a couple of ways for this team because, number one, you throw the short game until they stop it. And if they're not going to stop it, you keep throwing it, and occasionally you'll break a tackle and turn into a bigger gain. Also, if they start to creep up, start to pressure receivers.
And all the way in for a Cincinnati score.
Jamar Chase.
31 yards.
And the Bengals are within an extra point of tying up this ball game.
Great corner route there. Not only able to catch it, turn it upfield, and get into the end zone.
It usually involves a little bit of an extra move, doesn't it? You've got to get them thinking that you're moving to the middle of the field, and you're breaking away to that corner. Boy, that was well executed.
Extra point by McPherson, up and good.
And we are tied at 7. 5 plays there on that drive.
And it was Jamar Chase who finished it off with a touchdown reception.
So all even at 7 now as they kick it away.
And they will wrangle it down a couple yards shy of the 30. Second drive of the game coming up for this Las Vegas offense. This drive here beginning probably with a pair of motivated groups. Remember, the offense scored a touchdown on their last time out, looking to repeat that in Charles's defense. They were very frustrated after giving up 6 the last time on the field.
And frankly, it's just a battle of wills in a lot of ways because you know they're both motivated. They both game plan for this drive, and they both have specific outcomes in mind. To me, it just comes down to who can execute better and which side can step up and assert its will over the other.
Off play action, it's Minshew. The Bengal pressure gets him that time. Down he goes.
Trey Hendrickson showing off his pass rush repertoire that time.
And this is what you've got to do against a quarterback like him. You've got to keep him in the pocket and not let him get to the perimeter because once he gets outside, that's where he can really hurt you.
Taking a shot here for Marshall. And unable to connect. Incomplete. Now give them credit. They took their shot, but it's going to bring up 4th down.
Almost feels like anything you can do, we're going to try and match or do better. We've already seen one touchdown pass from the opposition. They tried to equal it on that throw.
And good coverage there by the punt team. They're able to get down there and drop him with authority. Cincinnati set to take over once again.
And they'll just simply be looking to build off the confidence of the last time out where they scored a touchdown.
And confidence is powerful, isn't it? When you've scored once, you feel like you can go back out there and get it done again. Doesn't matter what the defense throws at them. They feel like they're in a groove right now, and they want to get out there and show it.
Yeah, hoping to stay in that groove here this go-around. He got 29 yards that time.
Kind of a dangerous throw there. He's off balance when he gets rid of it. But this is all about a quarterback knowing what he can get away with. And that time, it turns into a completion and a healthy gain as well.
So here's a 1st and 10 now in Raider territory at the 43. Play action. It's Burrow. And he can't escape, and down he goes. The safety blitz staged to perfection that time as they sack him for a loss of 6.
How about that? One of the so-called little guys putting the pressure on. That was the strong safety. When I was in college, we often called that a lightning blitz.
Work to be done here on 2nd and 16 after the sack. Off the play fake, here's Burrow. Oh, and that is incomplete.
That's what you're going to need to do against those big receivers. You got to get in there and get physical with them. That time he got in close, got in tight, and knocked the ball away.
An incomplete pass on that last play, and that means they'll need to come up with something here on 3rd down. Now Burrow. And that is incomplete.
Well, that's a defensive coordinator's got to be happy with that result. They took away all options downfield and forced the incompletion.
So on 4th down, Ryan Rico on to punt for the Bengals.
And no return here. Where will they spot it? They say just outside the 20-yard line. So out come the Raiders.
These guys definitely hoping for a better showing than their last appearance. They couldn't really even move the football much beyond the shadows of their own goalpost, Charles. We'll see if they can get a better, more sustained drive going here.
Yeah, and every team that we ever talk to says the exact same thing. When you start a drive from that deep in your own territory, the goal is a minimum of at least 2 first downs, because even if you have to punt then, you change the field position, right? You flip the field a little bit. They didn't get that done. This time they want to string together a nice drive and help themselves out.
First play of the drive goes the wrong way. Here's 2nd and 12. Looking to throw it. Minshew. Floating one, incomplete.
And that's a nice job there, because you've got to play the ball, not the man when in coverage. That'll keep you away from a lot of needless penalties, and he's able to knock that one away.
3rd and 12.
Now Minshew. Eluding the pressure right. And they will stop him short. They get him to the ground at the 27. No first down. Give him 8 yards that time on the scramble, and now 4th down.
And that's an early scramble that can be viewed positively by either side. From the offensive point of view, it begins to establish him as a possibility to keep it on certain plays. And defensively, they avoided giving up a huge play in one of their first tests in containing a quarterback on the run.
This first punt, 48 yards. This one looks equally as good.
And good coverage there by the punt team. They're able to get down there and drop him with authority. Cincinnati's offense coming back here onto the field. The last series for them, a little disappointing, forced to punt. And now they'll try to do better here and come away with some points as they begin this drive. 1st and 10.
Burrow on play action.
And he will find his man Chase complete.
And out across midfield down to the 45. That one nearly 30 yards, 29 officially.
Certainly no settling into the drive there. They came right out on the first play and attacked the middle of the field for a big gainer and a first down.
So here's a 1st and 10 now in Raider territory at the 45-yard line. Burrow will throw.
Over the middle, he finds Higgins.
And past the 35, he'll be dropped a yard or two shy of the 30. That's over 40 yards of movement with those last 2 plays.
Well, I think when they look at their offense, they think to themselves, weapons, weapons everywhere, and they want to move the ball around. They want to spread it to different people. But you absolutely know they want to get this man involved as well, and that's what they just did on that play.
Now he's able to break through 1 tackle, but it slowed him down enough that he could only manage getting back to the line of scrimmage.
Here's 2nd and 10.
From the shotgun, it's Burrow.
And he'll spot Higgins open left side.
That'll leave him with a 3rd and 2 coming up. They got 8 yards there.
They'll come to the line, needing only 2 yards to gain the first here.
From the gun on 3rd down is Burrow. And this is going to be incomplete. The Raider defense strong on that one in coverage, and now it's 4th.
Tight defense there on 3rd down, but what a product of good coaching and even better execution, because he realized he's in field goal range, no sense forcing anything, and he made sure he didn't.
On the ground, here's the 4th-round pick from April's draft.
And he is not going anywhere. They stop him for no gain. He needed 2, but he doesn't come anywhere close. And the Raider D, they get the football back. And defensively, they were ready for that, a full-on blitz on 4th down, and they stop him short of the marker.
Oh, and someone's got to feel really good about that, and that's the defensive coordinator. He dialed up a great run blitz defense, and they hit it just right. Stack that thing up. They're going to feel awesome going to the bench after that big play.
They start the drive with Abdullah. It's a 6-yard gain on the ground, and that'll make it 2nd and 4.
A quick burst there, and he nicely bit off a pretty decent gain.
Under a minute to go, clock running, and a back-and-forth first quarter of play.
Here's Madison running left, and he'll earn a couple of tough yards past the 30 to the 31.
That's all about doing the dirty work right there defensively. 2nd and short yardage, that's all about plugging those gaps, not giving a running back a crease to run through, and has a nice job to hold him just a couple and force a 3rd down.
Here's Minshew. Hard throw, incomplete.
And what did we talk with them about prior to the game? Their ability to move the chains, pick up first downs. So far, 0 for 3 on 3rd down. If that continues, they'll have little chance of winning this one.
And he's getting a workout here in this first quarter as he gets it away. And a fair catch signaled for and taken just outside the 20-yard line. So a change of possession here on the punt. And the Bengals will take over here 1st and 10. And this should be the final play before the quarter ends. Now it's Burrow. Over the middle, complete. It's Higgins. And he's going to be brought down on what will be the final play of this first quarter. 7-7, our score after 1. Start of the second quarter, and it's the Bengals in control of the football as they've got it with a 2nd down and 2 coming up.
Here we go. 11 MT.
This is Brown going up the middle. 6 yards the pickup, and that's a first down.
2nd and 2 is prime time for a little bit of a gamble, isn't it? Open up the playbook, go play action, toss that bad boy deep. But in this situation, go ahead and give it to your back. Let him pick up a first down. Keep the sticks moving.
Now a fake on the jet sweep, and they'll instead run up the middle.
This will be stopped about 2 yards shy of the marker. 8-yard gain, 2nd and 2.
Good yardage there on first down. Exactly what you want. Get yourself set up to keep making first downs, keep the clock running. And if they're smart, you're starting to milk the clock. No hurry before you run your second down play.
Well, they'll run it here on the jet sweep.
It'll be a gain of 2 on the play, but they'll remain a few inches short here with third down looming.
Well, they gave up a few yards there, but all in all, I think it's a pretty nice job defensively against the jet sweep. If they don't slow him up, he might take it to the house, so they'll take that play every time on the defensive side of the ball.
Here's Burrow setting up to throw it. He's got his target. That's complete. And he is going to have a Bengals first down, and he'll have it by plenty as they're able to keep the drive alive on 3rd and inches.
Got to say, I was a little surprised to see him, Charles, come out in the shotgun on 3rd and less than a yard.
Yeah, but the way the NFL is nowadays, we hardly ever see anyone really run for it on short yardage, so they're going to throw the football more times than not. That was a nice, easy rhythm throw right there, and they pick up the first down.
Throwing quickly there, but it's incomplete.
Well, they've been back on their heels a little bit here on this drive, but a chance to exhale just a little bit there with incompletion on first down. Now they have to gear up, try and get 2 more stops, and escape this drive.
Here's Burrow. Here's Higgins out on the right side. And that play will go nowhere, losing yardage back near midfield at the 49. It'll go as a loss of a yard, so now they deal with 3rd and 11.
Backed up here, tough spot, needing 11 yards to pick up the first.
They'll stick with the passing game as he looks to throw. It's complete to Brown, right side. And he can only manage to get this to the 45-yard line, well short of the first.
We can make this one pretty simple. Locked up all of his progressions downfield, forced to get it to his running back. But how about the way they ran to the football and knocked him down to force a 4th down?
And this will be up to the ruling of the side judge here. He says it crossed out of bounds at the 16-yard line.
Now the Vegas offense heading back out there.
Now, if you're a fan of punting, and I know that not many people are, but this game kind of turning into one for you.
Well, it's okay if it's a skills contest, right? We're really into it then, but not during the course of an actual game. This has turned into a field position game, though. Sometimes the better punter may actually determine the outcome.
They'll try and start this drive in the air. He's going to float this over the middle deep, and that will be incomplete. Would have been a big hitter if they had connected. Instead, it's 2nd down.
They'll go Madison up the middle. He'll get only 3 there, so it leaves him with a 3rd and 7 ahead.
Well, that's a good start to this drive on the defensive side of the ball.
Force the incompletion on first down. Then you're able to shut down the running play on 2nd.
Yeah, I wouldn't be surprised now. A little bit of pressure going at the quarterback in an expected passing situation.
That is caught. Shoves him away.
And he'll go out near midfield at the 49. A big play there on the catch and run. 30 yards.
Now that one hurts defensively. They force him into 3rd and long, had the advantage, yet they give up the big play right there.
Yeah, their offense was already warming up on the sideline, ready to come out. So much for that 3 and out. The big play has them all the way out near midfield for a 1st and 10.
That's caught by Tucker.
And they'll get him down as he's inside the 40. 12 more yards there and another 1st down.
Well, that certainly has to feel good. And it's not all the time that the play caller should get all the credit. Sometimes I think in the huddle, the quarterback just says, hey, who's going to make a play for me? I just need something right here. And the end result there, nice 1st down. Drive keeps moving.
Officially, it's a 1-yard loss. That's going to bring up 2nd and 11.
An interesting and intriguing decision there defensively because they kept extra DBs on the field despite seeing the multiple tight end look that came out for the offense.
I thought they were going to switch out of it. I didn't know if they felt they didn't have time or what the case was.
Well, in any event, the extra speed allowed for great penetration as they stuffed that one behind the line of scrimmage.
2 runs in a row, but only 2 yards to show for it.
Some of the most unselfish players on any football team, defensive tackles, because we ask them to just eat up blocks and allow other people to make tackles. But when he can make a play himself, as we just saw there, that's a big day.
And he's got another first down as the tackle's going to be made at the Bengals 19. 18 yards, a big pickup there on 3rd down.
What a drive this has been, just chewing up the yardage. And here's one of their best plays yet as they finally get down into the red zone and look to finish this off with 6.
So here's a 1st and 10 now, down inside the 20.
Here's Madison running on 1st down. And he'll get him inside the 15 down to the 14-yard line.
Daxton Hill there to make the stop on defense. Ball at the 14 for 2nd and 5.
They'll drop to throw. Toward the sideline, and he will have the first down as he was able to keep the feet in bounds. That'll go as a pickup of 8.
On the handoff, it's Madison.
And he's able to get it down to the 2-yard line. Give him 4 on the carry there at 2nd and goal.
It's largely been the air attack that's gotten them down here, but now's where you start to lean on that running game. That's a good pickup there on 1st and goal.
Again, Madison. And this time he will get in. Touchdown Raiders. So his strong first half continues as he finds the end zone here for the 2nd time.
And definitely good blocking at the point of attack, and you just have to love watching the way he can create space down near the goal line, and he's able to take it into the end zone.
Carlson on for the PAT. And he's got it. It's now a 14-7 ball game. A pretty long drive that time. 11 plays all told. And it was capped off by a touchdown scamper from Alexander Madison. On is the Raider kickoff unit now as they will send this one away. The Bengals offense now, they head back onto the field. After that last score we just saw, now 14-7, so a chance to march down the field here, try to tie this football game.
Burrow going to lead up the Bengals here, 1st and 10.
At their own 24. And they'll bring the big tight end across the formation left. Out of the gun, it's Burrow.
Oh, and his early struggles continue. Here's another one intercepted. Picked off by Robert Spillane.
On 1st down, Abdullah. And he'll work his way inside the 30 now to the 28. It's a 7-yard carry to set them up with a 2nd and 3. Now a quick throw out wide to Myers. And he's down inside the 5 at the 4 before he's out of bounds. That one goes for 24 yards.
And remember, this drive started off following the turnover, and they've taken no time working their way down the short field. A nice connection there, and now they're looking at a 1st and goal.
Madison.
And he'll take this into the end zone. Now, hold on here. We do have a flag down. So let's see what this is about. So reverse the celebration. We'll see if they have something else in their bag of tricks.
And isn't that always tough to watch when they score and you see the excitement, and then when they realize those points aren't going to count? Can they get it back together and find their way back to the end zone?
Now a give to Madison. And he'll be brought down here at the 3-yard line.
61 yards for him on the ground so far tonight, as he has been terrific in this first half.
So the ball position now at the 3. Here's 2nd and goal.
And they'll run again.
And he is in. Touchdown, Raiders. Alexander Madison on his way to a monster game. 3 first-half touchdowns.
And the Raiders have taken a 2-touchdown lead now. So his big first half continues. His 3rd touchdown already. We'll have to keep watch as this game goes along, how much they want to continue to ride him, because he could be on his way to a record-setting performance.
Extra point by Carlson, up and good. And it's now 21-7. Just a 4-play drive that time. And it was capped off by a touchdown scamper from Alexander Madison. On is the Raider kickoff unit now, as they will send this one away.
And a decent return out to the 27-yard line.
Cincinnati now ready to take the field.
And for this offense, Charles, you got to think kind of crucial here to put something together on this drive, because remember last time out they threw the interception on the very first play.
And you can't afford to let this defense keep building any more momentum. They're playing awfully well, and they're awfully confident right now. To me, it's time to attack and take some of that momentum back. But make sure you're selective in doing so. Understand where you want to throw the football and make sure it's open before the ball leaves your hands.
A really nice gain of 25 yards.
Well, these guys have definitely been outplayed in the first half. I like their countenance. I like the way that they haven't panicked out there, the way they're carrying themselves. They're starting to move the ball, and what you have to do, maintain your poise and start to put together some drives.
So here's a 1st and 10 now in Raider territory at the 48-yard line. An inside give, Brown. There to make the stop was John Jenkins.
That felt like a trap, because it looked to me like the opposing front was on that play from the get-go. They had everyone crashing the ball carrier before he even made the line, and they hold him to just a yard.
Now 2nd and 9.
Two minutes remaining in this first half of football.
Ball on the 47-yard line. Here's a 2nd down and 9.
Now it's Burrow. Got his man complete over the middle. It's Higgins. And that's good for a gain of 6. And now it's 3rd and 3.
One thing you're hoping for when you run drag routes, you're able to hit a receiver in stride, and he can pick up a lot of yardage after the catch. But in this situation, the defense was effective, able to stop him before he could get a good head of steam going.
And he is going to have a Bengals first down by a couple of yards as they're able to convert here on 3rd and 3.
Well, we use the term pitch and catch a lot to denote an easy completion. We just saw one right there on 3rd and 3 to pick up the first down.
Why are those so tough to defend? Just because they hit so quickly?
Yeah, it's all about timing and confidence. Quarterback sees it, rips it, there you go.
Open man is Chase, complete.
And inside the 20 before he's brought down. Now the Bengals going to use the first of their timeouts, as the stoppage will come with a little under a minute to go in this first half.
So the ball down to the 16 here for 1st and 10.
Throwing again, it's Burrow. And it's caught. And he will take it on in for a Bengals touchdown. Mike Gesicki, a 16-yard touchdown.
And the Bengals get a late score here in the final minute of the first half.
I think everyone in the league talks about finishing, don't they? Doesn't matter whether it's a quarter, a half, a game, a series, whatever. But they're finishing the first half in fine style, putting that one in the end zone.
They did, and they didn't leave much time on the clock either. Well done.
Extra point by McPherson, up and good.
And they're back within a touchdown at 21-14.
After the touchdown, McPherson on to kick this one away. And able to get this out to the 25. The Raiders offense and their running back getting ready to go back to work. And he's been a tough man to stop in this first half. He's putting up some big numbers already, and we have yet to reach halftime.
The Raider offense set to get this drive started.
And with a 7-point lead, they'll likely look to take this to the locker room and not really press the issue. Short throw caught by Bowers.
And from the 25, they work this to the 29, a gain of 4. From the gun, Minshew to throw. Open man right side, Myers. And he gets this up to the 34 out of bounds there. Give him a gain of 5 on the completion, and that'll leave him with a 3rd and just a yard. Minshew sets to throw.
Able to find the open man. That's complete.
The Raiders going to use one of their timeouts as the clock will stop with 18 seconds to go in the first half. It'll be Minshew again.
Tucker hauls it in over the middle. And he has a big gain inside the 40 before being dropped.
Now the Raiders going to go ahead and use the second of their timeouts. So that means they're down to 1 remaining here as we head toward halftime. So here's a 1st and 10 at the 38. Now Minshew.
A quick throw knocked away. It's incomplete.
And not a common sight, at least on this drive. A momentary setback, though, for this passing game that has been moving well this series. Good thing for them, though. Still 2 more downs to connect and try and pick up another first down.
Looking to throw it, Minshew.
Here's Tucker, complete on the right side.
And he's down inside the 5 at the 4 before he's out of bounds. A big play that time on the catch and run. 34 yards.
Well, he looked his way quite a bit in this first half, and with good reason. You can see it there. He is such a handful defensively. Just too hard to keep him under wraps, and delivers a big play here for this offense.
So with 4 seconds to go in the half, here's the field goal unit onto the field. The kick by Carlson is good.
So a long drive gets him down inside the 5, but ultimately they settle for just the field goal.
And I have to think that if maybe they were a yard closer, that would have made their decision tougher, and I think they likely would have gone for it. But in this situation, they just decided to take the 3, and I think it was a smart move.
So we reach halftime here in a 10-point game. As we are off to Orlando now to check in with Jonathan Coachman and our EA Sports Halftime Report. Coach?
It was a running back, Alexander Madison, who put together a solid first half. He was running with a purpose as he found the end zone 3 times in that first half. And that opposing defense had better come up with a scheme for slowing him down.
Now a crease here as he's past the 30.
The Raiders offense and their running back getting set for this next possession. And as we roll through some of the highlights, we see how crucial he's been to their success in this one. When he's in this type of a groove and his offensive linemen are creating running lanes for him, he can really put on a show, and he's done so here. The Las Vegas offense ready to start this next drive. And they've got the lead, CD. What do you expect from them in this second half?
Well, I like what they were able to do on the ground in the first half because they had a lot of success running the ball, and I certainly think we'll see more of that. But I'd keep an eye on that defense, and I think their coaches up in the box will do the exact same thing. If they start to see one or two guys start to creep towards the line of scrimmage, that'll be licensed to take some shots downfield.
Out of the gun is Minshew. Short throw caught by Bowers.
And he's tackled a yard short of the marker. Good gain of 9 on first down.
I know sometimes we can get fooled when we watch him make catches, as we just saw him do there, because he really looks like a wide receiver the way he goes about his business.
Yeah, 230, 240 range.
Yeah, not super huge. Maybe not counted on to be that inline point-of-attack blocker that we used to have in the good old days. But you can flex him out. You can run wide receiver routes with him. You can make him a primary target, and that's how he'll shred a defense.
They'll look to throw now on first down.
Short throw caught by Bowers.
A gain of 3 last play. This time they double it and pick up 6.
Nice rhythm throw there on first down. He located his tight end, made it a nice easy pitch and catch.
Hoping he can break a tackle or two. Wasn't able to do that there, but still good yardage. They'll run it with Madison. And they'll be inside the 35 now at the 34-yard line.
82 yards here for Madison. He's got a first down.
They'll set up a throw.
Short throw caught by Bowers.
And they'll get this one to about the 20-yard line. That one good for 13 and a Raider first down. Whatever the discussions were at halftime to try to slow down this offense, it has not worked to this point.
Yeah, I have a vision right now of everything that was discussed at the half just being torn in shreds or being erased off of the Microsoft Surface tablets because none of it is working. They are really locked in on offense.
It'll go down as a gain of 6, and it's second down. Going on the ground with Madison. And he is met in his tracks behind the line of scrimmage. Call that a loss of a yard, and things get a little more difficult here. 3rd and 5. Now back to throw.
He'll find Bryant, his tight end. It's complete.
And so close, he gets it to the 1. Out of bounds right there. They're able to convert on 3rd down, and that sets up a 1st and goal.
And in a lot of ways, that catch is expected. Red zone presence, and that one was realized there. You've got to find your tight end in that situation.
They'll try to run with Madison, and he is going to be stopped cold behind the line of scrimmage. A loss of 2 there, 2nd down.
And now defensively, you have to look at this like the game's on the line. It's just the 3rd quarter, but another touchdown given up here could really spell an end to their chances, so they need to toughen up and keep them out of the end zone.
They'll try again.
And he's over the line and in for a Raider touchdown. Alexander Madison, a 3-yard touchdown run.
And the Raiders take the opening kickoff of the 3rd quarter and drive right down the field to extend their lead.
Well, he'd been the workhorse on this drive, and it would have been unfair to bring someone else in to finish the job. So they go back to him again, and he delivers with a touchdown run.
Extra point by Carlson, up and good. And that'll make this a 3-score game now. The lead moves to 17. The kickoff team on the field now as they will send this one away.
And he'll go down as this drive will start at the 25-yard line.
So here are the Bengals now as they get their first possession of this second half.
Burrow and the Bengals with a 1st and 10
at their 25-yard line. They'll come out throwing here to start the drive. Over the middle, he's got Gesicki, the big 6'5" tight end. It'll be a gain of 10 to start the drive out, and by a few inches, that'll be a first down.
And this is what they're going to need more of. It's the third quarter. You're trailing. You've got to come out with a renewed sense of purpose, and that's a nice way to kick off the drive with good yardage and a first down.
Over the middle, that's caught by Chase.
The result, only 4 yards there on the play, and it'll be second down.
And we've seen him have success earlier on with the ball in his hands because he is a get it in space and make a play kind of a receiver. But that time, they closed on him quickly and held him to a short gain.
And that falls to the ground, incomplete. Well, a nice job of bodying him up defensively, and now it brings up third down.
Well, no one likes to see that drop, but I'll guarantee it's not going to stop his quarterback from going back to him anytime he has open space.
To the air again, Burrow.
He's got his target. That's complete. And he is going to have a Bengals first down as they're able to get the third down conversion.
I don't care how many times we see it. I still get a kick out of watching quarterbacks and receivers do the pass tree in pregame warm-up. But I always remember that when we go to practices, we see that after practices as well. They really tune it up, don't they?
They tune it up. They know why they do it for these situations. First down.
And they build that trust, and that's why they're able to find him in this type of a situation.
The coverage may be too good that time as he breaks away for 19 with his legs and a first down.
The defense did its job of taking away a quick throw, but that's only half the battle because they've got to get to him before he can make a run for it. A little bit late containing him there, so he makes a nice gain out of a play that looked like it was in trouble.
Now it's Burrow.
He's going to have the hook up here to Chase.
Call it a gain of 6 on the play, and that'll make it second down. They like going to him in the slot. He catches another one.
I think this comes under the heading of until they stop him, why not go back to him? He has something going really well. Great working relationship with the guy throwing the ball, and they keep making the connection.
And he'll go down here right around the 23-yard line.
4 yards the pickup, first down. That ground game contained again there, Charles, and that's really a big reason that they're trailing right now.
And give a lot of credit to that defensive front. That's exactly what they worked for all week, to try and take away the run game, make them one-dimensional. In the battle of game plans, theirs has been superior.
He'll wind up getting right about 4 there on the scramble, and it's second down.
I'm actually looking at this play with defensive eyes here, partner, because they were still laser-focused on him after his earlier exploits on this drive. I think they went back to the well just a little bit too soon. He got across the line of scrimmage, but they certainly weren't giving up much more than that.
That's going to be knocked away and incomplete.
As a coaching staff, you can call just about whatever you want because you understand you have guys who reliably take away those massive shots downfield. You're not as worried about giving up the big one.
To the goal line, but it's incomplete.
That was a touchdown if he could have hung on. Instead, it was a well-timed collision to jar that one free.
So on fourth down, off goes Burrow. On comes Evan McPherson for the Bengal field goal.
This just a 35-yard attempt from the left hash.
McPherson's kick is good.
And that will close the gap down to 14.
So the response to that touchdown on the other side to begin the third quarter. Look, just 3 points, but still a response nonetheless.
You're exactly right about that because I think you needed to answer back with something, even though it's not 6. Just enough to send the message that says, hey, we're not going away.
Oh, a good-looking return set up here. Amir Abdullah. He might score. He will score.
Touchdown, Raiders. I know a lot of special teams coaches, they just want to keep it away from him because that's what he can do.
And others have egos that their players can't keep up with. And they say, challenge him, kick it to him. The way he runs as fast as he is, I wouldn't challenge him at all. I'd do everything possible to keep it away.
He is just a blur when he gets a full head of steam, and he got a full head of steam there. Extra point by Carlson, up and good. And the lead now to 3 touchdowns at 21. So now the other return teams out there as they'll try to duplicate what they just saw.
And he's up across the 25 and down at the 28. There's a look at receiver Jamar Chase as the Bengals get set to go on offense.
And I know that they've double-teamed him a couple times, but not a ton. Whatever they're doing isn't working. He's up over 100 yards. We'll see how they adjust.
And when they do that, they weaken their defense in other places as well. And how many times have we done games where we've seen a guy have a big game like this? But it's usually not by himself, is it?
Right.
Usually it opens it up for other people to have big games as well.
And he'll spot Higgins open left side.
And he's going to be down at the 35. Gain of 7.
Well, it's time for them to be good teammates right here. And what I mean by that is possess the ball for a little while. Get at least 2 first downs. Give their defense a chance to settle down a little bit after they give up the touchdown.
And they're able to swarm him behind the line, and his rough night continues. That's going to go down as a loss of 5, and it brings up 3rd down.
You've got to figure the further they fall behind, the more you think that they'll get away from the run. They're trying to stick with it, but the results, they just aren't there.
Burrow will throw. And now Burrow going to be intercepted yet again. Picked up by Divine Diablo.
And he's able to get it back to the 33-yard line.
Well, he had to fit that into a pretty tight window over the middle. And, Charles, I think they were in zone defensively, weren't they?
They certainly were. Nice read on your part. And sometimes the quarterback isn't fooled between zone and man. Sometimes just fooled by the type of zone that he sees. Because oftentimes, those linebackers will vacate and run downfield with receivers. In this case, he played a pure zone and was in the wrong spot for the QB.
So 1st and 10, and if they score on this drive, might have to start digging in our second half blowout material.
Here's Madison.
And a good-looking run there as he'll take this inside the 20 and down to the 18-yard line. 97 yards for him on the ground now. He has been a tough man to bring down all night. So from inside the 20, here's 1st and 10 at the 18.
Another carry now for Madison. And he'll be stopped after a gain of only a couple down to the 15-yard line.
But you know that old expression, it's not my night? It hasn't been his so far. I don't know if the legs are a little bit heavy. Sometimes having to hang out all day and play doesn't exactly play to your advantage, but it's been a tough go for him.
And every time he looks up, somebody's there defensively. That was the same case on that play.
And the Raiders are going to be set up with a 1st and goal as good running gets him down to about the 4-yard line.
They'll run with Madison. They're able to get a couple here, but won't get across the plane as they stop him right around the 1. One quarter remains here in this Thursday night matchup. We'll return with more after this. You're watching the NFL on EA Sports. Back now in Las Vegas. Welcome back, everybody. A lot of happy faces in the crowd at this point as their guys have a big lead here to start quarter number 4. They'll go play action here with Minshew. Rolling to his right.
Now throw on the run, but that's going to be incomplete. Well, 4th quarter with a 3-score lead here, Charles, but they're still going back to the air and looking for more points.
Well, with this game well in hand, it's an opportunity for the guys to come off the bench and get a chance to play. And a lot of coaches, they want to run their full playbook no matter who's on the field.
Yeah, boy, a good surge defensively. It'll depend on the mark, but I'm not sure he got there. Only a yard that time, so now a decision to be made here on 4th and goal. All right, ball at the 1-yard line, 4th down. What do you say?
I say go, because if you can't get 1 yard, what's the old adage? If I can't get 1 yard, I don't deserve to win anyway. Tell your team it's that time. Who's going to get down into the trenches, grind it out, and make sure that ball gets in the end zone. Who's it going to be? Let's go do it.
And it's incomplete. They cannot convert, and they turn it over. They had the play call on 4th and goal, but it's dropped in the end zone. And the Bengals are going to get the football back. The Bengals offense and Joe Burrow getting set for this next drive. And this defense might be about ready to wave the white flag. Nothing they have tried to throw at him has been that successful. He just processes things so quickly and makes a right read seemingly every time. Fighting to get back to the goal line. I don't think he got there. He did not get back there. It's a safety. And the safety there, another mistake, and these mistakes just keep piling up.
How many more can they make? They put themselves in such a massive hole now. Going to be difficult to dig out from under.
Yeah, for sure they can't afford anymore at this point. So after that safety, now a free kick situation forthcoming as they punt it away from the 20.
Abdullah to return. This offense returns to the fold along with running back Alexander Madison.
I guess it kind of goes without saying at this point, but he's had a great game, as we like to say, a nose for the end zone, no doubt.
Continues to find it throughout this game, and I'm sure he's got a nice place to live. He might want to make an offer on the end zone for a second home because that's what it's been like throughout this contest. He knows how to get there, and boy, he looks happy when he does.
He's already bought all the property in the end zone. That's the problem. He's going to sell to himself now.
128 yards on the ground for him now as he has gotten better, really, as the night's gone on. Back to the ground on first down. Here's Madison.
And he's going to take this ahead for right around 3 yards, but no more than that. Second down.
That's it. That's what you want. Straight ahead, positive gain. Just keep that clock ticking.
Going to run with Madison again. And for one of the first times all night, he is going to go nowhere as they bury him behind the line. It'll go down as a 2-yard loss, and it brings up a third down. Finally, defensively, they have a little clip to show positive for actually stopping him running the football.
It's been a really long night for them, hasn't it? So they got a little bit of a win there, but let's face it, the vision that he's had running the football has carried his feet to the open spaces and to big yardage all night long.
So the completion good for 6 yards, and that's going to bring up a fourth down.
I thought they might take a shot down the field, but instead they ran a little drag route there. I think they were hoping he could catch it and run away from the defender, but a really good job keeping the play in front of them, and they force a fourth down.
And the kick's away as he angles this one for the sideline. And it's out of bounds. Now we'll see what the side judge says. He says out at the 8-yard line. Now the Cincinnati offense ready to see what they can do here.
Well, this game, it has had no shortage of offense. They've been able to put up a decent amount of points on this side, Charles. They just have not been able to keep pace with the other offense they're going against here.
Yeah, that's a good way of pointing things out because now it's not a total loss because, as you said, they've scored some points, so there's some plays they can build on, moments where the game plan actually worked. But overall, though, they were just out-personnel. They were going up against a team that's playing at an elite level.
Here we go. Here we go.
They're passing here. Joe Burrow.
Got a man open. It's Chase.
So give them 5 yards there on the pitch and catch, and that'll bring up second down. You got the big lead defensively. Willing to give them that underneath stuff, right?
And this is why you work on your tackling. Tackle them after the catch, inbounds, keep the clock running. Just go ahead and bleed the game out that way.
This pass complete to Higgins.
And Higgins is going to have a Bengals first down as he'll get this up across the 30-yard line.
They get 5 out of that one, and it moves the chains. Line of scrimmage, the 31 now on 1st and 10. Again, it's Burrow. Oh, there's that man again. It's complete. And this will leave him a yard short. Nice pickup of 9 yards on first down.
When you see zone defense and you know you've got a drag route on as your primary call, you've got to be really careful as a passer about how far you let your guy go because he might wander into some tough coverage.
Out of the gun, it's Burrow.
Hits his target. That's Charlie Jones.
And he gets this one to midfield before he's brought down. Give him 10 yards there as this offense is on a roll. This drive continues to plunge forward. From midfield now, Burrow. Throw left side here, complete to the tight end, Gesicki. Some extra space following the display of power. Down just inside the 45. It'll be a gain of 5, and that's going to bring up second down. Throwing again, it's Burrow. And for the 4th time tonight, it's an interception.
And the Raiders are going to get it back here just past the 35.
Well, just another reason to celebrate there on the defensive side with the interception, and this is a game that they clearly have firmly in their grasp.
Yeah, a lot of handshakes, a lot of hugs, a lot of smiles. It's been their day.
The Las Vegas' offense back out there ready to go.
The offense for Las Vegas about set to begin the drive.
And after the interception, they are sitting in an even better spot with the ball and a comfortable 4th quarter lead. That's a good acceleration there as he's across midfield to the 48-yard line.
16 yards right off the bat and a first down.
No doubt those are the types of carries they're looking for here, Charles. The lead in the 4th quarter. This is when coaches that have a reliable running game, they breathe a little easier on the sideline.
Yeah, they love the idea that they can take the air out of the football at this point of the game. That means they're really counting on that offensive line, counting on the runners, taking care of the football. Because you're going to tell your quarterback, hey, no time to be a hero. We're not going to throw it here. Just eat up that clock. And if you have the ball, they can't score. That's a really alert defense there because they saw the heavy look come in from the offense, countered it with extra linebackers who brought a little bit of speed and heft, and able to really make a big-time play for their defense.
Well, they'll run it here on the jet sweep. And they're able to work this to the 25 before it's all said and done. That one good for 26 and a first down.
An excellent run there coming from out wide.
And we used to consider these jet sweeps to be gadget plays or something a little bit unusual, right? But now most teams have some version of this play in their playbook. And I think it's a lot because of the receivers that are being developed nowadays. These guys look like running backs even though they're playing out on the perimeter.
Here's Minshew. And that's going to be incomplete. Too tough to hold on to that one. It's second down. The incompletion there stops the clock. Any surprise they're throwing here late?
Ordinarily, yes, because you would think enough is enough. They've got plenty of lead, but I've seen this a bunch of times as well. The defense is going to crowd the line of scrimmage. If you just hand it off inside, you're getting your running back popped a lot as well. Sometimes the defense dictates it. If they're going to crowd it, you may have no other choice but to throw it downfield.
The offense on third down tonight, not quite 50%, 4 for 9. This is 3rd and 7. Here's a give to Madison running right. And he'll at least get him inside the red zone here, down to about the 19.
So it's the big left tackle who gets tagged with a hold.
And sometimes you're actually executing the block well, and he starts to slip off of you, and instinctively you reach out and grab him. And when it's done like that, it's often seen by the official and called.
And he'll be brought down at the 27-yard line. 4 yards on the pickup there, but it's going to take him to 4th down. Daniel Carlson set for the Raider field goal. He hit his first one, this from 44 yards out now. Carlson able to put this one through, and that will extend their lead even further.
Well, ultimately not really sure that they're going to need those 3 points, but they'll take the 3 and they pad that lead.
Yeah, this one's already wrapped up, but you and I both know if you're an offensive coordinator, you never let up on the gas unless the head coach tells you to do so. And maybe you've actually clicked him off in your headset so you can keep calling plays and trying to add to this lead.
And he'll be stopped up at the 25.
Cincinnati now ready to take the field.
Not an ideal way to end their previous drive. They threw the interception, Charles, after they had built up some momentum. They were moving the football, but something to at least build on for this offense as they run back out here.
Yeah, you're right about that. Up until that last play, everything was working pretty well for this offense, gaining chunks of yardage, getting first downs, really making a push for the end zone, and looked like they had a nice rhythm going. Now you got to have a short memory here. Don't focus on the interception. Focus on what came before it and get back to it.
Now it's Burrow.
That's complete. Once again, it's Gesicki.
That'll put him at 96 yards receiving now for the game, and he's got a first down as well.
Many different ways to create space, but on that play, he did it with that big, wide body of his. Didn't get a whole lot of yardage on the play, but it did what it was supposed to. Pick up a first down.
He'll look underneath and finds Brown.
And a 6-yard gain gets him right around the 43. And that's good for a gain of 6, and it'll be second down. Just 2 minutes remaining here in the fourth quarter of what has been a one-sided affair. So the Bengals in possession of the football here as we get you reset.
Line of scrimmage, the 43 on 2nd and 4.
Burrow looking to pass. That's complete to his tight end, Mike Gesicki. 6 yards the pickup, and that's a first down.
That was a route run not just with dexterity, but with intelligence. Found the hole in the zone, made sure the quarterback saw him, and was able to make the sure catch and flip the down marker back to 1.
Open man is Chase, complete.
And the result here, a pickup of 8. Leaves him with 2 to go on second down.
It's a game of matchups, and that's why you take your receivers and move them around a bunch, especially your best guys. And when they work out of the slot, you often hear the coaches talk about how great it is because it gives you a two-way go. You can break out or you can break in. That makes it hard to defend.
Back-to-back receptions for him, and it's another first down.
Well, this game was decided a while ago, and that completion there, it's going to artificially inflate his passing numbers. So right now, the only one really applauding probably his agent as he thinks about angling for a new contract.
And out of bounds right around the 20. 10 more there and another first down.
Well, this game is certainly pretty well over. They can go ahead and mark it in the win column, but as a defense, they don't want to get so soft now that everybody just throws the ball all over the place against them, gets big yardage, and puts points on the board. They have pride, too, on that side of the ball.
And incomplete, a drop there in the middle third of the field. That'll bring up second down.
Well, we've talked about it, CD, but it bears repeating. They are struggling to throw the football. All the interceptions and more incompletions. It just doesn't look like things are in sync out there.
I would agree with that, and it's not a good day when you feel like an incomplete pass is almost a win for you because it wasn't intercepted. And I think the receivers now, when they're running their routes, they want to catch the ball, but they also want to make sure that the defenders don't take it away.
Now Burrow.
Yeah, this pass broken up. Excellent coverage there on third down, as that was not an easy one to hold on to.
At this point, down big, you'd have to imagine this defense are just going to sit back, blanket the field as best they can.
Yeah, this is actually the easy part of the game for them because, just as you noted, they can sit back, keep everything in front of them. But they've blanketed the field the entire game using a variety of coverages.
Work in the middle of the field, and he's got a man complete. And the Bengals are going to have first and goal as they try to finish off this drive with 6 points.
Here's Burrow setting up to throw it. To the end zone, but it's incomplete.
Yes, sir. How about an attaboy there on first down? Got his hand in and knocked it away.
Another shot from the 1 on second and goal. And Burrow going to throw again.
Toward the pylon, but it's incomplete.
He had to absorb another little bump there from the defense, another incomplete pass. We've seen a lot of that tonight.
They've come after him all night long. Nothing but pressure in his face. He's trying to stand up there and make throws. It's hard enough to do when the pocket is clear. When you got all those people in front of you, almost impossible to have a good completion percentage.
So it's been a long drive. They've held the ball for quite a while. Now what do you do here?
Well, to me, at this stage, after this drive, this close to the goal line, 3 points would be a letdown. I'm going for it here.
A final shot now for Burrow. And this is going to be caught. So it affects the final score, not the outcome, but it is a late touchdown here on the game's final play. Doesn't affect the outcome, but, hey, nice job there to put it in the end zone for the final play.
Could it affect other things? Sometimes these types of scores are ones that we don't consider big at the time. Then later on we find out maybe that was a tiebreaker.
Yeah.
Or, of course, in the fantasy football world, these points mean a lot.
A lot there. Well, on the one side, if you try to take away something positive from this game, they played to the final whistle, getting the touchdown there on the last play. But still, all for naught, really.
Yeah, I'd say give them points for positivity. I like that. That part is good. But I often wonder, when the game is settled and the clock is run out, do we really need to kick the extra point?
Oh, yeah. It's silly. It's silly.
It doesn't make any sense to me. I know that people have explained before, well, you got to play it all the way through. Come on, this thing was done.
That'll do it for us. I'm Brandon Gaudin alongside Charles Davis. Thanks to our entire crew as well. We'll talk to you next time. So long, everybody.